Hello, everybody. Welcome to the latest edition of the Varsity Aces show. I am local sports columnist Darren Cooper, and tonight we are talking about the rumble on the Raritan down at Rutgers. It is football week in New Jersey, said our governor, Governor Murphy. It starts off Thursday night with Rutgers taking on Temple, and then the high school guys take over Rutgers Stadium for the next 3 nights, days and nights, Friday, Saturday, Sunday games, all rumble at the Raritan. We've got some special guests tonight who are participating in the rumble at the Raritan, coaches and players from Woodridge, North Arlington, and Northern Highlands, who plays in a big one on Sunday. But first, I want to bring on my co-host for tonight's show. He's been in a few rumbles, I think, in his own life, maybe on the basketball court once or twice. Mr. Mattura, how are you doing tonight?
I'm not too bad. I almost got dropped at the St. Joe's football game, though, so otherwise I'm recovering nicely.
Good. I'm glad to hear it. We want to start our show right away by talking about the rumble at the Raritan. One of the games Sunday morning, actually, is a couple of Group 1 schools from Bergen County. We know they're really thrilled to be part of it. Let's welcome in North Arlington football coach Joe Borkowski and his quarterback, Devin Rivas. Guys, are you there?
We're here. What's up, Darren? What's up, Greg? How's it going?
Hey, thank you so much for joining us tonight. And Bork, I'm going to start with you. Just how'd the game come about? How thrilled are you to take, no offense, our small program to a big stadium in Rutgers?
Oh, listen, Group 1 school, playing at Rutgers, Big Ten Stadium, first game as a head coach. I can't be more excited. Our kids are excited. Our community is excited. Devin's excited. We're ready to rock and roll.
Devin, that true? Are you excited?
Yes, sir. Definitely excited.
Have you ever been to Rutgers before, Devin? Have you ever been down there? And?
I have. For the Paul Castles State Championship my freshman year.
Oh, really? Devin, I've got one more question to Mr. Mattura. Is what have you learned about your team, from scrimmages and preseason?
Yeah, so my team's been doing pretty well. The preseason, we've been working really hard, stacking day by day, and just continuing to work. So,
All right, I'm in. Last year, you went 4-3, first winning season since 2010. Joe, we'll start with you. What kind of enthusiasm has that built in the program? And then, Devin, we're going to step over to you. Same question. You get to feed off of your coach's answer.
Listen, I'm very fortunate that I was able to inherit a 4-3 team. We got a lot coming back, and my job is to just build off that. We're headed in the right direction. Let's keep it going. I've been very fortunate enough to have guys like Devin to lean on a little bit as a first-year head coach, and like I said earlier, we're ready to rock and roll.
Devin, again, same question over to you. 4-3 last year, whether you knew it or not. Program's first winning season since 2010. What's the enthusiasm? What's the view from the players' perspective about that?
Yeah, coming off a 4-3 season, it's pretty. You got a hot head on you. You got a target on you. So got to come back and succeed like another season like we did last year.
Okay.
Bork, tell me about facing Woodridge, the challenge about facing the Blue Devils.
Challenge about facing the Blue Devils. So I actually was on their staff. I'm going back 6 or 7 years ago under Coach Trenicosti. So I know what that town's about. I know what those kids are about. Southern Bergen County, just like us here in North Arlington, tough kids. They seem well coached in their preseason. They got a lot of enthusiasm, just like us. They're trying to build off last year and keep moving forward, as are the Vikings. And I'm looking forward to a tough matchup, and we're super excited over here in a little more Southern Bergen County.
Joe, tell me about Devin and his role as quarterback and what you see as his potential.
So Devin's a junior. We don't have too many seniors. He's leading the team as if he's a senior, as if he's a four-year starter. He's a first-year starter. He's not a senior, but the kids gravitate towards him. He's awesome in the huddle. He's got command. And he leads by example with his work ethic. He was one of the first kids I met. I saw him get on the bench, and I said, are you playing guard or tackle? And he told me quarterback. I said, oh man, this is exciting stuff. So he passes the eye test and in more than one way. And, I'm super excited. I'm going to give him a lot. And so far I've given him a lot and he's handled it all.
So Devin, did you grow up playing quarterback? Were you always a quarterback?
Yeah, I've been playing quarterback since Pee-wees.
And what's your role in the Vikings offense? What do you need to do for your team to be successful on the field?
Just take charge, just day by day, just have our guys come ready to work.
So, Joe, key to victory on Sunday morning.
Make less mistakes than Woodridge.
Is it that simple? Execution.
Execution, man. We're very confident in our game plan. I keep saying it. We're ready to go. Hoping for no butterflies. We got a couple first-year starters. Devin's a first-year starting quarterback. I'm a first-year head coach. Let's get through that first quarter without the butterflies, and then let's go get them. Let's go get them. How
many kids on the team? How many kids on the team, Bork?
We're sitting between 30 and 35 with freshmen.
So you can go. So you can practice. You can give a real practice. You can give a real look. You can go 11 on 11.
And listen, I got to tip my cap to the scout kids. They come every day. Those guys usually don't get their names in the paper. We do have a couple two-way starters. So, our everyday fans are not going to know who they are. But I'll tell you what, they work their tail off. And I keep telling them, one day when you're in Devin's shoes and when you're a senior, the show's yours. So keep working hard, keep helping us get better each day, and then naturally you're going to get better as well.
All right, my last question for you, Devin. You seem pretty even-keeled right now, I got to say. You seem relaxed. But tell me a little bit like what the next 72 hours will be like for you, like looking at film and just going to practice and what your focus will be on the next couple of days.
Yeah, definitely. Just taking it. I tell my guys to take it like the same way as we would be taking it to like prepare for a game. Like same thing, have the same mindset, all that type of stuff.
Mr. Mattura, what do you I know you got a big finish. Come on.
I always have a ton of questions. Whether it's a small school or a big school, it's been my experience that when a school goes and plays at a big facility for the first time, it can be overwhelming. So Joe and Devin, especially Joe, what have you done, if anything, to help simulate, or maybe you've spoken to the kids? Sometimes it's just a depth perception issue when you step into a big stadium. Have you addressed that? Will you get to the facility super early to get the kids acclimated? What's the game plan for that?
Absolutely. We got a real early bus. We're practicing early in the morning to get our bodies acclimated, right at kickoff time. And I keep telling these guys, the ones who haven't been around football as much as Devin and myself, enjoy it. You guys are in a Big Ten stadium, Rutgers, Sunday morning, first game. This is once in a lifetime opportunity for most of us. And, take it all in. We're going to get there early. I'm going to let them walk on the field and let them take pictures, and then we're going to go through our regular pregame stuff, and it's time to focus and turn it up.
Devin, sort of a similar question. I mean, how are you going to feel about going to play in a big facility, where even if not every seat is filled, there's still a lot of seats there. It can be overwhelming, I found. How are you going to handle that?
I handle it as like a regular season game, like just it's a once in a lifetime experience. So like, we'll be ready to rock. We'll be ready.
All right, I think he answered the question pretty good there, Bork. I think that was about what you.
Calm, cool, and collected. Just like his interviews. Hopefully,
I think Devin's ready to play. I think he's ready to play now.
Ready to play right now. He's in game mode.
Guys, we appreciate a few minutes of your time. We will see you guys Sunday morning, but we're going to let you guys go because we're going to bring in your opponent on Sunday morning. Right now, we're going to have Mr. Michael Sarlo and Coach Joe Catrona from Woodridge step in here as they are North Arlington's opponent in the first game on Sunday morning at the Rumble at the Raritan. You are watching or listening to the Varsity Aces show. I'm Darren Cooper. Over there is my colleague Greg Mattura, and there they are, a couple of Blue Devils. There's Joe Catrona in his first year, and Michael Sarlo definitely not in his first year with the Blue Devils. Guys, thank you so much for spending a few minutes with us. And Joe, I'll start with you. How did this all come about? How did you find it? You get to make your debut at Rutgers, for crying out loud, too.
Yeah. So when I was hired by Woodridge, Mark Sinclair, athletic director, told me, our first game is a home game, and if I want to, go seek a neutral site game to play at, because last year Woodridge was supposed to go to Canton, Ohio, to play back then, and that got canceled because of COVID. That I'm able to do so. So I made a phone call to Nunzio Campanelli, a good friend of mine, put me in touch with a guy, Tom McGuire, who got the ball rolling, and got the game scheduled at Rutgers as part of the Rumble in the Raritan. So we're excited as can be for that.
Michael, how about you? That's a pretty good way to start your senior season, for crying out loud.
Yeah, I'm super excited. It was tough last year getting canceled at Canton due to COVID. We were really excited to go, but just to start my senior year off at Rutgers, I couldn't be more excited.
All right, Michael, I got to ask you a personal question. Did you get in the cage today? Did you take some swings with the bat today?
Not today, actually. I'm more focused on football right now, but I definitely will be soon.
How hard is it, Michael, to adjust and go from sport to sport? If you don't know, Michael's one of our best three-sport athletes in all of Bergen County. What's it like to adjust going from sport to sport?
It's definitely a challenge, but I love it. This year in the summer, I'd be practicing football Monday through Thursday, and then I would take a 5-hour car ride to Virginia for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and it would just be on repeat. And, I love doing it. It's tough, and I like challenges, and, I'll do it 100 times.
But, Joe, how much are you going to use Mr. Sarlo in Sunday's game and the whole season?
0. I can't give away my secrets on this.
Oh,
Listen. The good thing is, along with Mike and the rest of the skills guys that I have, I've got weapons. I think I have weapons all over the field, and we can line up in any formation, and anybody that touches the ball, I have complete confidence in.
Now, this game features two first-year coaches. Joe, you want to talk about the experience of your first preseason, especially compared to last year where we had a shortened preseason and a very short regular season with no playoffs?
Sure. Excited to be back on the football field, pretty much full strength, going through the practices, being able to go in a locker room, that was huge, being able to go back in the weight room, all these things, factored into, this offseason, being great, felt bad for the kids that lost the season last year because of COVID, but this year the seniors that I've got, they've been tremendous leaders. Along with the rest of it. I think that COVID year last year kind of made them more hungrier, and they know that at any given point this can be taken away from them. So they worked extremely hard this offseason, and we're excited to get going.
Michael, almost the same question, which is how does it feel coming into your senior year where you do have a full slate of regular season games scheduled with the promise of a postseason versus what everyone went through last year?
I'm really excited. Last year was a struggle with COVID, but it's just to be able to step on the field with my teammates and my best friends is something that I won't take for granted.
Darren,
I am curious, Joe, to ask you about North Arlington. Did you see that? Have you watched film on them? What do you see them that you got to prepare for?
Very, very good skill guys, and an excellent quarterback. I think they'll be one of the better teams we play this year as far as skill position wise with the receivers, the running back, the quarterback. Again, they got weapons all over the field, and in one of those guys that touch the ball, they can be extremely dangerous. So we got to make sure that we stop those skill guys and come ready to play.
Hey, Michael, I'm kind of curious to know what your next couple of days will be like. No school yet, right? No school yet. So, you can kind of lock in and focus a little bit. So I'm curious to know what your routine will be like the next couple of days to get ready for the North Arlington game.
Oh, it's going to be a lot of film, a lot of talking to my coaches and my teammates. Mostly every day we've been showing up to practice early, running routes, staying after practice, getting some more conditioning in, staying after, watching film, just a lot of studying and stuff like that.
And you know what, Michael, I realized, I asked Catrona about you. I'm going to ask you about Catrona. He's a new coach. Did you know Joe at all before? And what's his approach been like? And how have you felt, rate him for us here. Rate my coach here.
He's everything that I want in a coach, and especially his coaching staff. He put together a great staff, and I've had a personal relationship with all the coaches on on his staff, and I think we're locked in for this year. I'm really excited.
All right, what do you think, Mr. Mattura? What else you got in your bag?
Same question, during the cross-examination that I had for North Arlington, Joe, it's been my experience that when teams go and play in a big facility for the first time, it can be overwhelming. What, if anything, have you done? What will you do to prepare your kids to go and play in it? Obviously the field's the same size, but it's got the big scoreboard. It's got the huge stands.
Mm-hmm.
And what are you going to do to prepare for that?
Yeah, first, I tell them, listen, you got to block all that out. It's the same size field as you said. So, block everything out and go out there and play your game. Secondly, we're going to the Rutgers game tomorrow night. We'll be at the Rutgers Temple. The whole team will be there. So we'll be able to walk around, experience the lights and, how big the stadium is. And I think the kids will get a feel a little bit, that. And we're going to get there extremely early on Sunday and, make sure that, we got plenty of time in the locker room, walk the field, stuff like that. Get that mindset right.
Maybe you should have breakfast before you go to the Rutgers game.
I'm thinking about it.
You don't have to worry so much about the lights. Maybe.
Yeah. I want to put the lights on because we'll get there so early.
I don't have a ticket to the Rutgers game, and nobody asked me to go. Jeez, nobody asked me to go.
You're media, yeah. You should be able to get in for free.
Oh, I like to go and have a good time, guys. I think we can't wait to see you guys both against North Arlington on Sunday morning. It's going to be a special moment for both of you new coaches, and it should be a great game for Southern Bergen County. I like how both of you kind of referenced that. A couple of small schools who get to go on the big stage and play. So good luck to you, Joe. Good luck to you, Michael.
Thank you, Darren. Thank you, Greg. Thanks for having us. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
This is the Varsity Aces show. I'm Darren Cooper, joined by my colleague Greg Mattura. And up next, we're going to have another player coach playing in a big game at the Rummel on the Raritan this weekend down at Rutgers. Dear friend of mine, Mr. Greg Russo from Northern Highlands, and his star quarterback Enzo Arjona will join us as the Highlanders play in maybe one of the best games of the weekend down at the Rummel at the Raritan and Rutgers when they take on Somerville. Fresh off the practice field. Guys, come on. Wasn't it a little windy and hurricane-like out there?
We were in a dome, so we weren't outside in the rain.
We were worried about you guys because the weather is not pleasant out here. But gentlemen, thank you both so much for joining us. And Greg, I'm curious to ask you right off the bat, Somerville, let's get right. What are they good at, Greg? What have you seen? I know you've studied them a long time. What have you seen in film that you think you got to prepare for?
They're talented. I mean, I've got to see them. I've watched a bunch of their games from last year. I went to watch them in person. I've seen their game. They played. They're very talented at the skill spots. Really good. They have a junior quarterback who's solid as well. Gets the ball to everybody. They got a lot of playmakers. They can run to the ball on defense. They show a lot of different looks. They make it tough for you. They're a really good team.
Enzo, I want to jump in with you. Are we healthy? Do you feel real good? I mean, are you 100% healthy? I'm sorry to bring that up. And what do you see when you watch in film? What do you see on Somerville?
Okay, first, I'm 100% healthy. No issues this year. We're nice and clean this year. But Somerville, they're a great, hard, competitive team. Very challenging. They are very good everywhere. The defense, very good defense, and what we're going to do is just challenge the head of the ball.
And though I'm also curious, Coach Russo, offensive playbook isn't a pamphlet. It's pretty big. So I know that there's definitely some gamesmanship. Y'all have had scrimmages, you've had practice, but there's got to be a lot of stuff y'all didn't show, right? And you're not going to reveal any package or anything. But yes, you have some stuff definitely y'all have practice you haven't shown yet that you're going to bring out Sunday.
I mean, we've been working a lot all off season, and we're just getting ready for this game coming up. Very big stage, Rutgers. That's it.
And Greg, how have the guys done execution-wise in practice? What have you seen from your team that makes you confident?
We've had a really good off season. I mean, we had our game scrimmage canceled. It was a small hiccup. I would have liked to get that other game feel in there. But I thought we had a great week of practice, and we've done a great job kind of just getting that level of execution against each other that we would have gotten that game. But I think in some ways maybe it helps. You get out healthy, you get ready for the game that you have coming, and we've had this for a while, so it's exciting for sure to have it this close, and we look good right now.
I just want to follow up on what Darren said when he said this might be the best matchup of the weekend. Let's put that in perspective. Somerville versus Northern Highlands features the 2 top-ranked public schools in the USA Today Network on New Jersey preseason top 25. Somerville, number 8. Northern Highlands, number 10.
Who are these guys doing these rankings, guys? Greg, who are these?
I'll be blunt here. Northern Highlands, a program on the rise, trying to get to where Somerville is. Somerville's been 49, I think, in 5 over the last 5 years. They were unbeaten in the 7 games that they played last year. And they also have a huge advantage over you coming into this weekend, in my view, in that they've already played 1 game. They played Olney Charter, beat them 25-0. That talented quarterback you're referring to is preseason All-State quarterback Mike Miller. And also at the skill position, we have All-State receiver Jamin Bryant. So it's going to be a handful there Sunday evening at around 5 o'clock when you square off against them. Could you talk about the significance, and you've referenced this before, Greg, of playing a very upscale program, going out of the area and playing a quality program like Somerville?
Yeah, I mean, we're always trying to play the best competition we can. And I mean, when this whole game came about, I was asking everybody else, like, who do you want us to play? And I don't know if it was, Darren, I think it might have been you. He said, I think you should play Somerville. All right. And I said, okay. And I mentioned it to them. They said, that'd be a great game. They'll play it. And they wanted to play. So, like, we'll play anybody. We're not afraid of anyone. We'll go play whoever. And, like, the better the team, like, let's go play. Like, we're going to put the ball down. We're going to see who plays better that day. And, like, if we play the right way, we can play with anybody. Now, if we don't, we can lose to anybody. And that's like the secret with our team. It's like we have to go execute at a really high level, and that's my job to make sure we do that. But they're a good team, and but in no way, in any shape or form, are we scared of that. Like, we want that because that's what we want to test ourselves against, and that's what we play for. For our guys, it's not a pressure thing. It's like a reward for putting in all the work to go on a big stage and play a team like that. So when you win, it means something. And that's what it's about for us.
Okay, Darren, back to you.
You know what? I think, Enzo, you could. I've known Coach Russo for several years. I don't know if I really told you Somerville. Maybe I did though. But Enzo, it's kind of like, can't be afraid to lose. Let's go out and play. Put the ball down and go out and play. I'm not afraid. Somerville's good. Good. We want to play them. They're good. Ramapo, they're good. We want to play them. Right. What do we get out of? That's what the game's all about, right, Enzo?
Yeah, the game's definitely all about that. Competing every single down, every single play, especially at the big stages. Like 2 years ago, we competed at MetLife. Now we're competing in Rutgers. So we're always going to compete in the big stages against the best teams, and that's what we're looking for.
And Enzo, I want to ask you, how much have you been in touch with the fellas at Monmouth? If you don't know, Enzo's plays to Monmouth. How much have you talked to those coaches lately?
Yeah, I've been talking to the Monmouth coaches for a while now, since they recruited me my sophomore year. And when I visited them in the summertime, it was a beautiful campus, and I can't wait I feel the skill set, and I just can't wait to compete there for my next 4 to 5 years.
Are they going to have anybody there Sunday, you think, watching you?
Probably. Hey, whatever it is, I'm going to put a show on for them. That's all I got to say.
My last question for you, Greg. It is such a quarterback-driven game, of course. And how does Enzo look to you? Yes, we had.
He's got 2 hands. He's got 2 hands this year, so he looks a lot better. He's not making me as nervous during the snaps, but he looks really good. He's taken on a leadership role, I'd say, more this year. I mean, he always had all the tools, right? But now he's doing some of the extra things, like getting on guys at practice. Much more vocal, which I like. I think it's going to make us a lot better team. And it's just a natural progression. He's a senior now, and he's been doing a great job. He's one of the hardest working guys I've ever coached at any place I've been. So that's kind of infectious with everybody else.
Ooh, have you coached anybody good in the past, Russo? I'm trying to remember.
Some guys.
a couple of guys in the NFL, maybe one or two.
Yeah.
Was there a guy named Peppers once? I don't remember his first name though. Did you?
He worked pretty hard. I'm going to tell you, he worked pretty hard too.
I would think so. Enzo, does Russo ever name drop you guys like that? Does he ever do any throw out any names at you guys?
No, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't.
We just.
Hey
They don't
guys.
listen to me anyway, man.
Oh, jeez. Guys, appreciate a few minutes of your time. I know y'all are deep in preparation for Sunday. It's going to be a good game. The Aces will be there for sure. And good luck against Somerville. Thank you, Enzo. Thank you, Greg.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks very much, guys.
All right. That was great. And now I think it is time. I am supposed to do some predictions. Jeez, and Pete's. This is the best and worst part about being a high school sports writer because people take these picks super duper seriously. By the way, what do y'all think of my new set, my new digs, my new surrounding? I got to bring my backdrop down. And so we will start. Mr. Pedagano, let me know when you're ready. I think you are ready. Well, so let's start. These are before you can read these in the paper tomorrow. These are like exclusives. All right, first game. Bergen Catholic against Smyrna in Delaware. All right, here's the little insights. A reporter like me who covers Bergen County, when we have a team from out of state, what do I have to gain by picking Smyrna? I don't have anything to gain by picking Smyrna. However, I will say this is a total trap game for Bergen Catholic. The Crusaders are coming off a big win over Archbishop Hoban out in Ohio. I was there. I saw it. Smyrna's going to come up here, and they might throw a couple of punches, and if Bergen Catholic's not ready, they could be in for a long afternoon. I'm not saying Smyrna can win, but I'm saying it could be interesting in the third and fourth quarters. That said, I'm going to – my pick – you ready, Mike? My pick, Bergen Catholic, Smyrna, I have to go with the Crusaders. I think that they have just too much talent. They're unblockable. The defensive line is unblockable with Samuels, and they're so good on the back end. And Jelly played really well. You know, if he throws that first pass, better be a nice, easy completion because that'll be 15 straight completions. That'll be a school record for Bergen Catholic. Our next game, Eastside and Passaic Valley. Now, this is one I kind of went back and forth on when I was thinking about it because I don't think Passaic Valley is a slouch. I think Passaic Valley will play tough. I think Passaic Valley will try to shorten the game a little bit. They'll play discipline. But the job James Magazine has done at Eastside has just been fantastic. And he's got a lot of talent. Nyreek Claghorn, I think that's the Eastside Ghost, new quarterback, very athletic, is going to make plays. Going to be a handful with that zone read stuff with Jacobs in the backfield. So you got to go Eastside. I think a little close. So my pick, though, will be the Ghost of Eastside. The next one, fear the deer. The next game, I'm even wearing black and gold, is West Milford against Lakeland. This is by far the best rivalry game of the weekend. It is literally brother against brother or son against son sometimes up there at West Milford and Lakeland. It'll be a great atmosphere for this game. They actually ended the 2020 season playing against each other. And I just have a weird hunch. Last year, Lakeland won. This year, my pick, start off the season, West Milford's got all the revenge on their mind after losing last year. My pick is the Highlanders. I think they've got some good running game. I think they'll find a way to make a couple of plays and take care of the Lancers. Big rivalry game there. Okay. This game, I thought, sneaky good game. You know, Demarest and Paramus, a couple of teams struggled a little bit last couple of years. Good coaching staff. I love Joseph Bella at Paramus. Bunch of tough kids there at Paramus. Demarest, just a tough loss. Hey, we had Joe DeCroce on the Varsity Aces show 2 weeks ago. And before we went on the air, Joe confessed to us, hey, I hurt my knee in the Del Barton scrimmage. And I think we all knew right away it didn't look good, and just from his body language. So Joe's out for the season. That's a huge loss for Demarest. Whoever wins this game becomes a really interesting team now in North Jersey. And I just lean a little bit towards the pick. I am going to go with the Spartans of Paramus. I just think Spartans are about to take a big step. At sophomore quarterback last year, and they're due to get good. Joe Sabella is too good of a coach. I think the Spartans are going to win this one. All right, next game is Beckton versus Hawthorne. The Wildcats were the North Jersey Team of the Year last year after their historic run to the NJIC title and their amazing streak of scoreless games that went, 5.5 games without being scored on. And you know what all that means when they play Hawthorne? Absolutely nothing. That said, the Bears are going to give them a good fight. The whole NJIC is interesting now because more teams are in the Union division of the NJIC. So these division games, the divisions are all smaller in the NJIC. So these division games are all super duper important. One loss here and you might be out of the NJIC playoffs. So I went back and forth on this, and I could see a Hawthorne win. I could see a Hawthorne win very easily. But I think Becton's just going to have a little bit too much firepower for the Bears, maybe a little bit too much outside. I like Becton. My pick, Becton by maybe a touchdown. I think it's close. I really do think it's a close one. Next game on my menu, we got Ramapo against West Essex. We didn't talk about this with Greg Russo a minute ago, but Ramapo played Northern Highlands in a scrimmage and did pretty well. And Ramapo played Phillipsburg in a scrimmage and did pretty well. The Green Raiders are just a machine. I mean, their offense is just plug and play. Every year, Drew Gibbs finds a quarterback who can complete like 70% of his passes and guys who can run. Ramapo's a heavy favorite. The pick, Mr. Petagano, the pick is Ramapo to start their season 1-0, and they might be playing deep into the season, into November, December. It seems like that always happens. So now my last pick. Shoot, I had a little fun with this one. We had two new coaches on the Varsity Aces show to start the show. Borkowski from Northern Arlington and Joe Catrona from Woodridge. There's another new coach at Pascack Hills. His name is Evan Lampert. Now, the Broncos, you see I had to catch myself. I didn't call them the Cowboys. The Broncos also have a new coach in Evan Lampert, and they have been down for the last couple of years. As much as Brooks Alexander, one of my favorite people, worked hard, the Broncos just have struggled to win some games. This is a game they can win. This is a game they could win, and I'd be thrilled for them if they won. So I'm going to throw them the extra motivational chip right now, right here in front of the world, and I'm going to pick Snyder to win this game because I want Evan Lampert to call me up after the game is over and say, I was wrong, and Pascack Hills, the Broncos, start the Broncos era with a win. So those will wrap up my picks. There'll be more of those picks online tomorrow on northjersey.com. I'm not sure if we're going to bring Mr. Mattura back or not. There he is, Mr. Mattura.
You have to. How could you not?
I know I do.
You got to bring me in to close it out.
I do.
I want to follow up by saying that also be on the lookout. We're doing divisional breakdowns of who the top teams are, who the favorites are. There have been so many changes, especially in the Super Football Conference, realigning, moving teams around into different divisions. So be on the lookout for that. That's kind of a cheat sheet, a primer on who's in what division and who we think is gonna have a chance to win each of those divisions.
Thank you so much. And also keep your eyes open. We've got a story on the whole Bishop Sycamore debacle in high school football and its strange North Jersey connection. That went up just a little while on northjersey.com. And I've spent most of my day researching all the college football players from North Jersey, including a couple from Penn State that I know Mr. Petagano, our talented producer, is interested in. Mr. Mattura, thank you so much for your time. Always fun to spend a few minutes with you. You have a good night.
Thank you.
And I will wrap things up here on the Varsity Aces show. We want to thank all our guests. We are going to be focused on the Rumble at the Raritan all weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Saturday, Bosco's playing, DePaul's playing. And Sunday, it's Woodridge and North Arlington and Northern Highlands versus Somerville in a big marquee matchup. So we'll be there all weekend. I'll be there all weekend. I ain't got anything else to do. It's football week in New Jersey. So that'll wrap things up here on the Varsity Aces show. I'm Darren Cooper. For Greg Mattura and all our guests, I want to remind you to let the coaches coach, the players play, and the officials officiate. Let the Varsity Aces tell you what you need to know. Goodbye, everybody.